Today we are talking about a full face of romance, and as you can see it's gonna be almost all lips, but I do have their eyeshadows, their base, and their blushes. So let's go. There's no time to waste. This is first thing in the morning and I have to go work after this. So first, their cushion foundation. This is the Bare Water Cushion in the shade 05 or 25 Sand. This is one of the brand that I see that they can do like 25, which is actually pretty rare because a lot of brands will stop at 23, which for a lot of brands that shade is a little bit too light for me, like just one shade too light. But this one is like a touch too dark, so I feel like my ideal shade in Korean foundations would be somewhere around 24. But let's talk about the formulation. I think you can tell the formula is, trying to escape this packaging. That's one thing I want to talk about. This thing is, I don't think this thing should be in a cushion. It's too runny and too jelly-like. Something that's suitable for a cushion is normally something like very creamy, and you could get a very even layer by distribute with a sponge. But something like this is like a very jelly-like and runny, like I said. It's really not very suitable. Like you might as well put this in a tube or like a pump, like a bottle with a pump. So I just really don't understand this choice. I feel like they only put in here because I feel like people just on average want to buy a cushion more than a bottle of foundation in Korea. And with a cushion you can give them less. Because I never saw like a full size bottle of foundation is like 15 grams or something, but with the cushion foundation that's the standard amount. So I just don't really like their choices of packaging. But I mean, I said it's like half a shade too dark, but it's actually pretty perfect. But it just, in real life, I think it's the shade being a little bit too orange. I just feel like it's dark. It needs a little bit more olive tone for me, but it works way better than a lot of other Korean foundation shades. But I think you can also see it doesn't really have much coverage. It's more like, I feel like a watery tinted moisturizer type of formulation. So if that's not your thing, don't buy this. This really just, if you want to buy this, just imagine this as a watery tinted moisturizer in a cushion foundation compact. But it's like a mesh cushion. So I think they put it in a mesh also because it's too runny, and the normal sponge will just absorb too much of the liquid of it. But I don't hate this. The formulation is not bad. Like, it's very dewy and it's very easy to spread, and it's very natural. So I actually like it. I just feel like the choice of packaging is like a little bit questionable. This palette is a pretty viral or well-known product from this brand, and a lot of people like this. But I always, sorry for the messy swatch, you should look at it in this way, but let's just look at it in this way. You can see in the swatch it's pretty pigmented, right? But I always feel like on the eyes it's not so much. And these glitters and shimmers is just so underwhelming, and this glitter is so thick and chunky. Like, I like a chunky glitter, but not this type. I feel like the best chunky glitter is the particle itself is big, so the reflecting surface is big, so it's like very reflecting, but the particle itself is very thin. But this one not only the particle is like too big, but it's also like very thick. So it's like one is a big piece of paper, you know, the thin one, and one is a big piece of cardboard. You know, that's the difference. And also I also think the shape of the particle should be kind of randomized or very fine. If you're gonna do it chunky, maybe randomize it. But it's like all of the, I don't know how well you can see, all of the same shape of glitter. This one is like what you would use in Halloween as a kid. That's how it felt. And again, the shimmers, like I said, not so great, underwhelming. I just feel like this eyeshadow is like a very mid product for me. I just rarely even like think about this palette. Oh, by the way, didn't say the name. It's the Better Than palette in the shade 03 Rosebud Garden. I thought that like the matte formulation was like okay. It's not like it's patchy or anything. And you do see the color on your eyes. It's not like there's no color. But I just didn't really understand the hype of it. It really is just a so-so palette. If you can just find this like for super cheap and you have wanted to try it for a long time, maybe go for it, but otherwise I don't see the appeal. Even for the sheer eyeshadows, you could get much better results. And I'm now using this deeper shades to give some more dimension. Every time I use it, I just feel like, okay, sure, type of product. Okay, and let's use maybe this glitter, like not a really glitter, like a shimmer, a whiter one. Oh, this is actually showing up way more than I remember. But the thing is, the glitter is like very dry, so it doesn't really settle. I don't know if you realize this, but a lot of glitter, if it's like too dry, it just feels like it's floating on top of your skin and it's gonna easily fall off, so it doesn't last. I don't feel like this is like a long-lasting palette at all. In general, Korean eyeshadows is just not my favorite. I feel like their lips are like the way better category. For cheeks, I feel like these blushes were viral for such a long time, and I have 3 shades. I have the shade C03, C04, which I think is pear chip, and this is C02, which I think is like strawberry milk or something like that. These are pretty like powdery type of formulation, not like in a bad way, but yeah, it is powdery, and it's also very sheer. So if you want like a very pigmented blushes, maybe this is not what you are looking for. But I personally like it, like for real like it. Let's use this one as a base and the other 2 on top. And I'm just gonna use it in like a larger surface. I think you can see the pinky tone to it. It's pretty lovely shade, but I normally don't use this on its own because it's on the camera it looks fine, but in real life it looks like a little weird. So this is really just a base shade for me. And again, you can see it's very sheer. And I'm using like an animal hair brush, and it's not even doing giving that much of pigmentation. And I'm using this shade Pear Chip C04 C04 on this side. This is like a nudie peachy shade. It's like very close to a natural flush type of color, like when you're running under the sun, like very very close to that shade. And I feel like this is very good for the Asian warm olive skin tone. And this shade C03, I almost always felt this was a little bit too saturated of a color. I don't know if you could tell the difference on camera, but this one is just a little bit too red for me. I like this one that's more peachy. But I think they are all great colors. It's just for me, I think this one might be suitable for someone that has like more of a redder undertone than me. But I don't hate it. It's not like a bad shade or anything. Overall, I think if you would find a shade that you like, I don't hate this formula at all, and I think the shades are lovely. It just, again, it's more of a powdery formulation. So if you like something that feels like they have like more moisture, it probably is not that. It's like even within the powder formulation, I just feel like this is more on the drier powder side. But again, I like how it looks on the cheeks. It's a great formula. Okay, now it's the real deal. It's the lips. Let's get the biggest collections out of the way. Let's swatch these lip glosses first. I feel like I had 6. I'm missing the shade 05 here, but I think I have somewhere else. If I can find it, I will swatch and put the swatch here. But now let's swatch these one by one. Okay, these ones are the glasting color gloss. And these are the type of glosses that's very typical. It's like a thick formulation, but it's not too thick and it's not very sticky at all. It's actually very comfortable to wear, and it's super high shine, as you can see. Like a medium level of pigmentation as a gloss, which is actually what I also prefer. I don't like a gloss that's too pigmented, but also not a gloss that gives no color at all. So I think this is a nice medium. So really, I really like this gloss as it is. It's like, again, a standard gloss formulation, but a nice one. But there's not too much to see or to say about it. If you like a standard gloss formulation, I think you would like this. Now these sticks. I think I have 6 of the shades, the initial 6 shades, 01 to 06. So I'm gonna swatch them in order. This is basically lip oil in a stick. The very thin lip oil, not the ones that they call it a lip oil, but it actually feels like a lip gloss. No, like the actual very thin oil filling lip oil. This is like those lip formulation in a stick. So it's very thin on the lips, but if you want to feel very moisturizing, very luscious, this is not it. This is really just a thin layer of lip oil that actually almost feel like a lip balm that will hydrate your lips. That's like very thin and not very shiny. But with that being said, I think I actually really like this one because it's very easy to use. I could just use it as a tinted lip balm. That's how it felt. It's like a very easy to use and to navigate formulation. The next one is this dewyful water tint, I believe. Yeah, dewyful water tint, and I have 4 of them. Let's swatch one by one. This is such a thin formulation of a lip tint, and if you follow me for a while, you probably know this is one of my favorite lip tint because it's actually not very tinting. I don't actually really like lip tint that's like tint your lip a lot and very quickly. This just like lightly tint your lip, and it's like a very thin gel formulation, which is very easy to use, very easy to navigate. And the shades, to be honest, I feel like they could improve the shade. My favorite shade would be the shade 12, which if you apply in a small amount, this is the best my lip but better shades. And because I use this for a while and it starts to smell funny, so I stopped using it and start using the shade 03. So if you really like a super tinting lip tint, this is not your thing. And if you really like a thicker formulation, like a super thick gel one, this is also not it. And this is, like I said, a thinner gel. And this wouldn't last you super long. I would have to say like 2 to 3 hours maybe. And if you are gonna have a big meal, this is gonna be gone. So that's pretty much it. I again like the formulation, but I think sometimes people might hype it up a little too much and you might expect way more. Well, for me, I really just feel like the formulation is very easy to navigate, and there's a shade that I like. That's why I keep using it. And now we have these, which is probably the most viral lip piece from them. And this is the older version, which is the Joocyee Glasting Tint, and this is their newer version. I think the shade Bare Grape is their most viral shade. In the old formulation is the shade 25, and the newer version is the shade 03. And I also have another shade, which is the shade 39, Oud Grape. Let's swatch this one first. So this is a way thicker and a more pigmented tint than the last one, the dewyful water tint. This is a true gel formulation, and it's gonna tint your lip a little bit more than the last one, but not too much, not to the point that you cannot take it off. You can easily take it off. And the pigmentation is in a higher level. And I just feel like this formulation, the shades, I don't know where I was, but yeah, this is a thicker gel and way more pigmented than the last formulation we talked about. Formulation is a thicker gel and is more pigmented. But I just don't know how much I like their color. I just feel like they almost all look more nude in their commercial footage or pictures, but in real life it's just way purpler and way pinkier. I don't know how much I appreciate that. So if you want to buy a shade, make sure you search for the real swatches, not just the swatches on their website. For example, this one, I purchased it thinking it was a nude shade. Was it? Probably not. It's very purple. And you can see it tints a little bit, but not too much. So, the real deal, the shade Bare Grape. I think I have compared this in the past, but let's do it again. This is the older formulation. Again, a little bit on the pinkier purple side. I actually I didn't know why this one was so popular, because this is not my favorite type shade. I thought people would like shades that's a little bit more nude. And this is the new one. The new one is less pigmented and a thinner of a formulation, which is a little bit closer to this one. And I feel like the shade is pretty identical. I think the difference you could see is just because of the formulation. This one, the new one, is thinner and less pigmented, therefore it looks like a little bit different, but in real life it's almost the same shade. It's just really the formulation difference. And this one is very pinky and purpley as well. Not my favorite type shade. Okay, we have 4 more. This is a random one. This is their matte lipstick in the shade 22 Mauve Beans. Again, this is a mauve shade. And I just don't know why they have so many mauve shades. A lot of times I see online and I thought this was a nude shade and it arrived as a mauve shade. And this one as well, I think I bought it thinking it was a nude shade, but it's a mauve. Mauve is just not my favorite shade at all. But when we talk about formulation, this is a very typical matte lipstick from K-Beauty. It's like the moussey, a little bit silicone-y type of thing. It's not drying, but at the same time it's, again, not like, of course, not moisturizing. It's easy to use, I would say, but it's like very standard formulation. So if you have a shade that you like, maybe, but if you couldn't find a shade that you really like that much, probably not. And this shade is just fine for me. I think because it's less purple, I could deal with it, but yeah. And this is another viral product from them. Glasting Melting Balm, and I had the shade 06 Kaya Thick. And this one, I just feel like it's again a little bit purpley. I have to say this is probably affected by the tint on my lip, but still I feel like it's a little bit purple. I don't know why every single shade I have from a lot of the lippies from this brand is purple. Like I don't know what they're thinking with like a mauvey purpley shade, but this is another one. And this one is a thicker balm formulation. It almost like a lip gloss that's put in a stick, and they are a little bit like a little bit sticky, not unbearable but sticky, and I can taste it like fruitiness of it, which I don't mind too much. But if you mind that, of course this is probably not your thing. I feel like I like this one more than this one, even though they are not the same thing at all, not the same formulation. This is way thicker, but I just like this one more because I feel like the shades are actually better, especially for these glosses. They have like actual nudie shade, which I prefer way more. I feel like it's just some formulation is the older formulation, so at the time that it was released, the market probably have a specific favorite, or the brand has some limitation to create shades. So I feel like a lot of shades from the older formulations, I just feel like they're a little bit dated. So this one is their lip matte pencil, and I have the shade 05 taupey shade. I really like this one because it's not like a typical lip liner shade. As you can see, it looks almost gray next to like a warm tint. It's a sheer matte formulation, and it's like a pale grayish taupey shade. So if you really like a cool tone lip liner, this could work for you. If your lip has some natural color that you would cover, I think this can also do it for you. The formulation is pretty nice, very matte and smoothing. And this is their gloss in the shade Meteor Track. It's a glasting water gloss. I don't think that there's much to say about this because it's literally just a gloss. A clear gloss, but it has some glitter in it. I don't know if you can see. Let's change to a shade that I actually like, the shade 02 from the gloss. Okay, that's all from this brand that I have, and I just feel like if you're choosing lip formulation and you want more nudier shade, maybe go for the more newer formulation. They can have like a truer toned nudie shade, and for the cushion, if you really like the watery gel type of formulation and sheer coverage, it could do it. And eyeshadow, don't recommend that much. And the cheeks are nice if you can find the shade that you like. And that's pretty much it. For me, this is actually a slightly overrated brand, if I would be honest, for me personally. But yeah, that's all I have to say about this brand. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.